might say that I'm a loner, but I just call it being free. I am my heart's only owner.
Hey everyone, I'm Calvin with Southern Country Living.
And I'm Marie.
We hope everyone's having a great day. Marie and I, we're doing pretty good today. Our weather outside is cloudy, but it's not too cold, so it's a pretty decent day, isn't it, Marie?
Yeah, it's just a little overcast, but I like it that way, especially since real bright lights have been bothering my eyes lately.
And I've been dealing with the shingles all week long. If you've had them before, you know how bad those things are. And I'm going to get into it. I'm going to talk about all the things I've done to take care of them and how I've been treating it and all that. So if you're new to our channel and this is your first time watching, it's going to be just a couple of minutes before we get to that particular part. But I am going to go into real good detail on it. But first thing we're going to cover, Marie's going to do her devotion today. And so Marie, I'll go ahead and let you get started on the devotion.
Okay, it's Luke 4:12. It is said, do not put the Lord your God to the test. And then it says, the importance of Scripture. Do you put God to the test with prayers like, God, show me your love by doing this or that? Whew, it says. It's tempting when your heart is yearning for something to happen. We shouldn't put God to the test about asking Him if He loves us or not, because we know that Jesus went to the cross and died for our sins, and He did it freely. So we shouldn't put God to the test in that aspect, because we know that He loved us, or, He wouldn't have did that. He died for all of mankind. And it says, it's tempted when your heart is yearning for something to happen. Jesus understands temptation. In fact, He faced temptation when He was more tired and hungry than you can ever imagine. When you have troubles, the evil one will whisper that God doesn't care. But it's not true. He does love you enough to die for you. You don't need to test Him. He shows His love all the time. Yes, it's hard to be patient while waiting for His answers. But remember, His love. Trust, don't test. And then it says, I'm sure that some of us, a lot of us sometimes do doubt if God loves us, sometimes when we're going through stuff and everything like that. But then when we can think back to the cross, we know what the answer is, don't we? It says, when tempted, no one should say, God is tempting me. For God cannot be tempted by evil, nor does He tempt anyone. But each person is tempted when they are dragged away by their own evil desire and enticed. Then, after desire has conceived, it gives birth to sin. And sin, when it is full grown, gives birth to death. So, God doesn't tempt us, and then we shouldn't tempt God.
That's a very good devotion, and it just comes home so good, especially this week. All week long when I've been suffering, Marie would tell me, said, just remember and think of some of the people that has it so much worse than you do. And so she's so right about that. Okay. Marie, we only made one cooking video this week, but I hope everybody understands I just wasn't able to help Marie with the cooking videos this week. But Marie, you made the Amish chicken casserole.
Yeah, and you really enjoyed that one, that's for sure.
That I did. I just kept eating it. The leftovers was so much, they were great.
Yeah.
And I had chicken casserole for 3 days in a row, and I loved it. Okay, Marie, also this week, we had talked about her getting IVs for prevention to keep her from getting dehydrated. So this was the week she went on Thursday, and you got IV infusion, and It went pretty good, didn't it, Marie?
Yes, my nurse practitioner, she was really good. She knows what she's doing, and so I had no complaints. It went great.
And hopefully it's going to benefit her too.
Yeah.
Okay, now this week, my voice seems a little hoarse this morning for some reason. Have you noticed that, Marie?
Yeah, there's a lot of that yellow pollen floating around here in Georgia right now, and I'm sure a lot of people are facing it also.
That pollen, I forgot about that, but I bet that's what's doing it this morning.
Yeah.
Okay, now this week, all week long, we've been enjoying Kim's channel.
Oh, yeah, especially since we can't see the babies right now because Calvin's not supposed to be around them because he has shingles. But he may be getting to the point that he can see them now.
Won't be long.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kim's had a video every day this week.
Uh-huh.
And we've just loved seeing Addison. She's been going to the park and she's been playing, and her and Gus and her friends, and they've just been having a good time. We've really enjoyed her channel. And so I'll be sure and leave you a link in the description of this video. If you have not checked her channel out, be sure and go check her channel out. And I think everybody will enjoy it, especially if you love seeing little kids.
I think she's going to have an action-packed weekend also.
Yeah.
Sounds like she's going to have a lot of fun in just a little while.
Yeah, we talked to her just a little while ago.
Yeah.
This morning, Marie and I got up sort of early, and we did our little favorite routine. We went over to Hardee's,
Yeah.
got us a gravy biscuit, and then we went by the lake to sit over and enjoy the lake. And while we were there, we ran into one of our granddaughters and her husband. And they were out there walking around the lake. And so it was so nice to get to see. That was Kristen and her husband, Chris.
Yeah.
So we really enjoyed that. But now, be honest with you, we didn't do a video over there, except I did record a little bit of the ducks,
Yeah.
the Canadian geese in the water.
And I'm going to give a report on Hardee's food today, which is not going to be as good as I usually do because their gravy wasn't the same gravy I got last week. This tasted like some type of canned gravy or something, and last week it tasted more like homemade gravy. So I wasn't too pleased with Hardee's today, but I'm going to give them another try maybe here in a couple of weeks, and if they've changed their gravy recipe, I probably won't be going back because we spent $11 and I can spend my $11 somewhere else a lot better for just 2 gravy biscuits and one little pack of hash browns that didn't even have salt on them. I'm not really wanting to complain about food because I know what happened to the Israelite people when they complained about food. But when you pay good money for stuff, you want it to be,
It tastes good.
you want
yeah.
it to taste good. And so, anyway, I'll give them another try and see how it goes.
Yeah, as soon as we opened it up, I noticed that gravy looked different. And I said, this even smells like that canned gravy that we bought before.
Yeah,
And it just wasn't good like we like for it to be.
But so my rating for Hardee's today is probably going to be a 5.
And we love going to Hardee's. But not the gravy biscuit, not today.
No.
Okay. So I promised everybody I would talk about the shingles. And I had actually thought about doing a separate video just on what I've had to deal with the shingles. But so for right now, I'm going to give you a good rundown of what I experienced. And like I said, if you're new to the channel, if you've never had shingles before and you think you've got them, this might help you out. Or if you do have shingles, this might help you out. But anyway, this is what I did, and check with your doctor. Don't do exactly what I did, but do what you think is best for you. Okay, the way mine started, for about 2 or 3 weeks before I broke out with shingles, I had been under some extreme stress, and we did not talk about it on YouTube. We're not telling anyone, what happened, what's going on.
We don't want
But-
to sound mysterious or anything, but I'm sure there's lots of things that goes on with y'all that y'all wouldn't want to share too.
Right, we don't share everything
No.
on YouTube. But Marie and I both was under extreme stress for a good 2 to 3 weeks. Well, on a Tuesday evening, I noticed I was feeling real sore, and especially on my left side, and I thought I must have bruised my rib. And when I went to bed that night, I was complaining to Marie and telling her, I said, my rib hurting so bad over in there, and I didn't know what was going on. Just extremely sore. Well, we get up Wednesday, and I started noticing Wednesday evening that I was broke out. I had sores on my side, on my left side, around my rib cage, all the way around to my back, to the middle of my back. And there was just a lot of extreme pain and itching, and it was just, I'm going to be honest with you, it was just miserably uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think that he was in more pain with the shingles than you was with your operation, wouldn't you?
I was more miserable, definitely. Definitely more miserable. And so I talked to my granddaughter Kim, and I asked her what did she recommend for the shingles. And she told me that when she had them, that she used calamine lotion. So I did get some calamine lotion. Now this is the kind that I bought. It came from CVS, but it is the calamine lotion that's in a spray, and I figured this would be easier to apply. And I'm going to thank Marie because she's been my nurse all week long, and because there's no way you can put it on your back and get on there good. But she sprayed it on my back and got it on real good for me. So for day 1 and 2, I was taking Tylenol and using calamine spray to help with the itching. Well, by day 3, which was on Friday morning, I knew this pain was going to be awful. I needed to do something. So I called my doctor's office and I talked to Lori. Lori's our primary care physician. And she told me, she said, Calvin said, I'll prescribe you an antiviral prescription, and you take it 3 times daily for 10 days. And this is the prescription. The one I got is actually called Valacyclovir, 10 milligrams, but they are very large blue pills. If you can see those, anyway, they're big pills. You take those 3 times a day, and I've still got a few more days to go because I'm not over it yet. So I went and picked those up, got started on those immediately. She said that that would help to make the sores not be so sore, because if you have shingles, you know how these sores will be. They're open and they sort of ooze a little bit. Well, by me using the calamine spray, that prevented the oozing, and it really helped mine to close up good, okay?
Now, I've seen people that has had shingles and it gets up in this area, and it's really painful when it gets up in this part too.
Yeah. So what I used, I had read that you could use Vaseline to put on your sores, and it kept them from drying out and being so hard, because as they start to dry out and scab over, they get painful then too. But instead of using Vaseline, I used, this is triple antibiotic ointment, and there's several different brands. This, and I just happen to have it in our supply. It was brand new, never been opened. We've had it for a couple of years probably. But I opened it up and used it.
And we're not sponsoring these. This is just what he used.
Yeah, this is just what I used. But by putting this on, it kept the skin from being hard, so that it softened it up just a little bit to keep the pain from being so bad. And then what Marie would do, the next thing I used is see if you can see this, it's Aspercreme brand, and it's lidocaine spray. And I used this for the pain, and believe me, this helped.
Yeah.
The very first day that I got this, I was so miserable with pain, and Marie put that all over my sores, all over my back.
And also you took Tylenol for pain.
I did too. And I went and laid down, And within 30 minutes, I was sound asleep, and I slept for about 2 hours because it just relieved the pain so bad. When you've got the shingles, sitting in a chair is uncomfortable if you've got them on your back. And if you got them on your side, laid on your side's uncomfortable. And like I say, it was just miserable. Let me get a drink real quick. So what I would do is I would sit in my recliner for maybe a couple of hours. Then I would go back and lay in the bed for a couple of hours. And I was just back and forth. And about 3 times a day, I'd get Marie to she'd put this on, then she'd put the pain medicine on, and then she'd put the calamine spray on. And she'd coat me up real good. It'd take care of me for a couple of hours or more.
Yeah.
And then we'd go again. Okay, let's see. So make sure I covered everything. Okay. And then like Marie said, I was taking Tylenol. I very seldom ever take Tylenol.
And he usually only takes one.
Right.
But this time he took 2.
Yeah, I was taking 2 early in the morning,
Yeah.
and I was taking 2 late at night, and then I'd take 1 during the middle of the day. And like I said, I don't normally take Tylenol, but I was taking it then, still taking it now. Okay. So by day number 8, I did notice that all the sores are starting to dry up. And since they are drying up some, I hadn't had to use the AAA ointment as much, but I'm still using that calamine lotion, and I'm using the lidocaine spray. But what I have noticed, as these sores are drying up, under the skin, it feels like it's pushing out. It's like the sores are under your skin, and especially right through here on my rib cage where they're at. That's where the worst pain has been. And then right in the middle of my back where I sit.
Yeah.
But when I woke up this morning, just so sore you can hardly move because of the soreness from it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not sure how long that's going to last. Right now, today, I'm on day number 11. And like I said, very sore and still got a lot of itching going on with it. But most of the pain has went away. It's just a lot of soreness and a lot of itching.
I hope they don't last as long as, you told me that they could last.
They say 2 weeks to 4 weeks or even longer.
Yeah.
And last week, a lot of you gave me some really good comments on what you went through when you had the shingles. So if you're someone new that's watching our video for the first time and you're wanting to learn a little bit more about the shingles, go to our Sunday chat that we had last week on March the 17th and go down through there and read the comments, because a lot of people gave good advice and told things about shingles that I had no idea. And so, and it is, if you get it, be prepared to suffer. I'm going to be honest with you, I'm a grown man, but I felt like crying. I never did actually cry, but I felt like it.
Yeah.
And I probably would have if I thought it would have done any good. But it is painful, it's miserable, and do anything you can do to help relieve the pain and to help heal the sore so that you can heal from it. And so that's where we're at right now. I'm on day 11. So next week when we do Sunday chat, I'll be at day number 18. So that'll be like 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping by next week that my pain level's better. I hope it's pretty much gone away by then.
Yeah. A long time ago, I remember when my mother had them and I was a teenager, and she could not stand to be touched at all. If us children touched her, she would let us know about it. But she really suffered from them too.
Yeah, well, I was going through trying to recall my parents and relatives. I don't recall anyone on my family anywhere ever having shingles before.
Yeah.
And so I'm the first one. I talked to my sister, and she said the same thing. Said, we don't know anyone that's had them in our family at all.
The hardest part for me about you having them, besides you being in pain, is not being able to go around children, our grandchildren. But
Yeah. Well, I think probably by next week we can go visit with Addison, and we're looking forward to that.
yeah, because also we're looking forward to Easter.
Oh, yeah, Easter's coming up in 1 week.
Yeah, and we'll get to go over there at their house, and they're hosting dinner. So I'm bringing ham. I know some people don't eat ham, but we don't eat it much. And so I'm making ham and sweet potato casserole, and I'll be taking a dessert. And so like I said, I'm looking forward to being around family, aren't you?
I'm just looking forward to getting to see the little babies. I love seeing them so much.
Yeah, and
That's one reason I love her videos, because I'm getting to see them.
And celebrating the birth of Christ. The birth of Christ. Well, I'll celebrate the birth of Christ, and I also celebrate the resurrection of Christ. So Easter is just a wonderful time to celebrate the resurrection of Christ, and so we will certainly do that too at our dinner.
Okay, Marie, that's pretty much, we didn't do a lot this week. We spent most of the week here at the house. I spent most of the week trying to get comfortable.
Yeah.
Thank you for helping me all week. Marie has helped me like you wouldn't believe this week.
We won't get to really go to church this Sunday or anything, but because of Calvin's shingles. But anyway, I'll watch my service that I have watched. When I can't go to church, I'll be watching that this Sunday, and it's live. And so, you celebrate and worship God however you can sometimes these days.
Okay. Okay, Marie, that's probably all I've got to talk about this week. Hopefully this coming week we will be able to do some new cooking videos. We don't have anything already made for this Monday, so we may miss Monday, but if we can do something between now and Monday, we will.
Yeah.
But just as soon as we can, we'll get back to making the videos, and we're looking forward to that too, aren't we, Marie?
Yeah.
Okay. Y'all have a great week, and I hope your weather is as pretty as ours. I noticed we said it was cloudy when we started, and look outside, Marie, the sun's shining beautiful right now. So you never know what the weather's going to do.
No, you don't.
Y'all have a great week. We love you and appreciate you watching our channel, and we look forward to doing the Sunday chats with you every week. If you are new, be sure and hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. Give us a comment. We appreciate all of that. So thanks, everyone. Y'all have a great week.
And y'all do what you love and love what you do. And y'all have a great weekend. And we'll see you on the next video. Bye.